The impression the game you get out with what you put into it. It's like a walk of life. If you're good enough, go out and get it, no more about it.
Not so much control in the centre of the field from Kilkenny as Richie Bennett sends it high and over the bar.
Your mother sends you down to the shop for a pound's worth of goods and she gives you 50 pence. You can't get the pound's worth of goods, can you?
Just about kept in. Oh, well, God, Johnny Buckley. To do that to Tommaso Shea, he deserves to score from here. One of the highlights of the Sunday game.
Limerick went out there from the word go today. No more about it. They made all the running, that was it. Put the ball over the bar and the back of it, and that's it. No ifs, no buts.
Is there much time left? We have a couple of injuries. Here comes Kieran Carey. Carey leading the charge of the right brigade. 45 metres out. He's a chance to score. He's put it hard.
There's no sympathy in this game for anybody.
Hello, and you're very welcome to another episode of Treaty Talk. We're back after taking a bit of a break last week, but we are back to celebrate an All-Ireland title heading its way to Limerick just a week before Christmas. Matt, brilliant news, of course. We'll be joined by a couple from Munger St. Paul's in a moment, but fantastic.
You know, it's incredible, Tom, coming up to Christmas, you know, and as I was saying to the lads there off air, you know, what a boost for the club and what a boost for the one club concept. But, you know, what a boost for our county and ladies football in the county. Yeah. You know, absolutely fantastic. Now, I didn't see the semi-final or final, but I had the pleasure of seeing them in the county final and in the Munster final, you know. And it was quite obvious then, Tom, that there was a resilience and that we were talking about a special team, you know, that were capable of conquering Everest, you know, and that's exactly what happened. And like, it's a huge credit, like, you know, it is very, very hard, you know, to put into context the scale of what the Munger St. Paul's have achieved this year, because of course it wasn't just achieved last Sunday. This has been in gestation since last January, as Claire told me off air, you know. So it's look, I'm looking forward to talking to Claire and John.
Yeah, that's it. I'm a small bit biased, but what a tremendous occasion and great memories for anyone connected to the team. You know, across the board.
Tom,
like,
can I spare you? Can I spare you? In, you know, your bias.
Go on.
Let our listeners and let our viewers know that the player of the match was a certain Mairead Clancy.
Yeah,
who
I know.
happens to be Tom's sibling, his sister.
Yeah. Well,
and,
can I just clarify as well? Can I clarify one thing, Matt? Because no, she did play quite well. I will say that. I won't deny her that. But it was alleged that I had an influence in it. But actually, a completely independent party of the LGFA picked this as well. So you know, great moments for us as a family. But indeed, everyone connected just to be there in Parnell Park. I mean. Yeah.
I had her pick the player of the match after her first half performance.
Right. Well,
having said that, there was a rake of players that could have won it, including one of our guests this evening.
Yeah. Well, without further ado, I think we should bring on our guest. We're going to be joined now momentarily. Here we are by Clare O'Meara, midfielder on the victorious Munger St. Paul's team, and the man, I suppose, part of the brains trust behind it. I say part of it because there's a huge management team there to deliver this one is Mr. John Horgan. John and Clare, great to have you. Merry Christmas. It's definitely a Merry Christmas anyway, and we're still a week from Christmas. So congratulations to both of you and everyone involved in the panel on the tremendous success. So John, I'll start with you as team manager. I know we spoke maybe 10 minutes after the trophy was lifted. You were definitely on cloud 9 then. I'd say you're probably still there. What's it, 2.5 days later or 2 days later? So talk to me. How's it been since we spoke on Sunday?
Yeah, it was an incredible journey home. Nice that dreams are made of. You know, the bus journey home. I actually sang in the bus. I don't sing. I have the voice like a crow, and they got me singing. So, yeah, I was on cloud 9. I let loose a little bit. We had a great old stop in Toomey Bar as well. Went into Dazzlers and the reception when we came home, though, I'll never forget that. We arrived in the village at about 9:30, and we paraded down to the clubhouse, and the sea of people that greeted us was extraordinary. So Cloud9, yeah. Look, I'm hoping this Cloud9 will last another few weeks. Mind you, we're taking a night off tonight. I mean, that's for sure.
And Claire, you were part of the team. Yeah. Claire, you were obviously in the team in midfield. I believe you're a proud Mungret woman. I know you have some outside influence from Cork, and you've one from Kerry, and you have a couple from Clarina and Clodimo. But as a Mungret lady, true and true, you must be so proud to. I see you have your top on there. You must be so proud to be wearing that badge and to have delivered on the national stage.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It's like a dream come true. I suppose it hasn't really sunk in yet. I suppose when I go back now to work in the morning, it'll probably start to sink in a small bit. Yeah, I suppose when we were marching around in the parade and seeing the amount of support from all the Mungret people, it was actually quite emotional walking around, just seeing, even when the lads set off a flare, it was just so emotional to see them all there supporting us. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I can't believe it.
Yeah, Matt, I'll let you ask the next question, or what's the next point of angle to discuss here?
John, as it transpired on Sunday, it was a very easy victory in the end. And if any team were flattered by the margin, it was the Donegal girls that were flattered, because I think Mungret, the level of mastery that they exerted over the game, I think the Donegal girls probably got off lightly. But it certainly wasn't the case up to last Sunday, because you went through a difficult campaign. You got nothing easy in the county final from Knockeny. Then you had to face an away trip to Abbey-Dorney. Then you had to face red hot favourites Middleton in Mallow. And then it was Coolera, Strandhill. You were saying to me last Sunday week that it had seasoned your team considerably.
Yeah, no one can say we didn't do it the hard way. And I'll throw in another one, Matt. We had a tough battle against Father Casey's as well in the semi-final. That was a hard match. That's a coming team as well. They're going to do well. The county final for us was the one we had to win. This team have been trying to win that. They're good enough to win it. They've proven it now. But that day mentally was our biggest. That was our biggest challenge, and getting over that win on that day, not playing our best football, but digging out a result. I think that was a huge milestone for this team. So we've like I said, we've seasoned now well. We really showed how we can defend that day in Mallow. Going to Cork up against a strong Middleton team, knowing the style of football they play. We felt we had to match that style. There was no point going all out attack when they're very defensive. So we tried to match it, and by God, the girls, they showed how they can defend that day. And I think Sunday we probably showed how we can attack. That's the type of attacking football that we want to play. Now that said, the scoreline was good. We had a good win, but I think our girls really just every one of them, even the girls that came on, for Jenny to come on there after breaking her leg during the year, we were joking, we'll have you for the Munster final. But to actually get back from a broken leg at the start of summer, when she was one of our best players in the league series, I'm delighted. I couldn't be more happy for Jenny yesterday, and to come on and make a difference. Like, she 2 or 3 key moments in that match for a girl that was in crutches, 10 weeks ago. So there was lots, like Claire here beside us, I'd say they're sick of seeing Claire running at them in Donegal. Gillian Buckley, who was half back, had to mark their danger girl. She's 16 years of age and 17 now, I think. And she was never more than a hair's breadth away from that girl. So there was lots of performances on you. You could go through the whole lot. Mairead was outstanding and well deserved that player of the match. But for me, we had 15 players of the match.
Claire, I understand you live in the heart of Mungret Village. It must have been extra special for you on Sunday evening. Did you shed a tear when you turned into Mungret Village on Sunday evening, and to see the huge crowd and to think that you were part of what the mobs, or would say that the crowds were, the hordes were out to celebrate?
Yeah, I suppose getting off the bus and seeing the amount of people come out to support us. I've never seen so many people in Mungret Village. And then to march with, I'd say there was 200 people behind us walking up. It was crazy. And then there's fireworks and everything. It was amazing, yeah. I just couldn't be prouder to be from such an amazing village.
And Claire, we must ask you about your mother. I know I saw you did an interview last week in the lead up to the match. A founding member of the club, one of the people who will say laid the foundations for yourself. I know there was probably others involved there at the time, but to have that connection for you, it makes it all the more sweeter. I know everyone has their own individual quirks, but when you can say your mother was there from day dot with ladies football in Mungret, that's a lovely little thing to have now, and you've climbed the mountain of All-Ireland glory now to add it to all that.
Yeah, I suppose it's extra special of having found the club, I think 30 years ago. I think it was 1991. I think they were just playing, I think the soccer club played in a football tournament and they just really enjoyed it. So I think she just decided with a few others to just set it up, and yeah, I think the rest is history, really. But yeah, it's just amazing as a family now, me being part of the team and bringing our first All-Ireland back to the club. I suppose, yeah, it's something extra special.
And John, for yourself, you mentioned some of the players there in the team. A lady we had hoped would join us this evening was your captain, Anya Ryan. Now, I think her voice has failed her after maybe a bit too much singing and a bit too much celebrating, but she struck me, and actually it was my own father who pointed it out to me, that immediately after the final whistle, she did celebrate briefly, I think, but after that then she showed true sportsmanship. I think she shook hands with as many Donegal girls as she could. I mean, talk to me about her as a leader. I mean, why do you pick someone like her as captain now? And I probably explained it there already why you would, but she is a tremendous leader of this team.
Anya is unbelievable. She's an unbelievable human being. Not just around the football. She's one of the most caring people you'll ever meet. Unbelievably kind, and she minds us all. Like, I think one of the reasons we have done well is there's a great communication there between myself and Anya. Any hint of an issue or some problem, we can talk openly, we can trash it out, and very intelligent. She reads situations very well. She can see problems before they happen. So, like I was saying to Matt earlier on, this team is a collective. Everything we did as a group, it was discussed, it was agreed. That exactly what we do in a session is down to the coaches. But the direction we wanted to go, how we structured things, when we had matches, when we had challenge matches, all that was an open book. All these ladies are well-educated, smart people now. They don't need old men like me telling them what to do. So they drove the bus. We were just there to put the fuel in. It was a joy to be around them, and an absolute joy to be around Anya. Like, she's just as an incredible human being.
Yeah.
John, in the semi-final win over Coolera, Strandhill, it was a day that you were very reliant on frees, and the game was eventually won on frees. That was all changed last Sunday in that you got some great scores from play, and plenty of them. Must be an awful lot of work done in the shooting practice in the intervening fortnight.
We did. Well, one of the drills now we did during the week was on goals, and I think we might have to do that drill again. There was a few goal opportunities there now. I prefer if we took. The Strandhill, the Cooler Strandhill match was a different type of match. So I was actually, when I heard it was on in Sligo, not Tubbercurry. I'd been involved with a winning Féile team a few years ago that we played there. So we had a good few matches, but I expected that it was actually on the full size pitch. But of course, when we went up there, it had to have the pitch with the stand, but the pitch is quite small. So I think the small pitch, very windy conditions, and just there seemed to be a lot of freeze. It was a very stop-start game. So it was a different game for a different reason. You know, Parnell Park on Sunday was a fine big pitch. You know, there was a lot of space there, and I think both teams were wanted to play attacking football. So it kind of opened it out a bit more, and there was a lot of chances. You know, we had shots and goals, whereas in Tubbercurry, you know, if you got within, it was so crowded. If you got within 30 yards of the goals, it invariably ended up a free.
Claire, when we were talking off air, you said that the whole thing started in January and that you've been training since January. Give us a sense, or give our listeners and viewers a sense of what your year actually was and the level of commitment that there was up to last Sunday.
I suppose we started in January. We were doing strength and conditioning with Megan O'Meara in Train, just on the Dock Road there in Limerick. We did a few classes with her. Then I think, was it around March, we went onto the pitch. And I suppose all we wanted from this year was to just win a county final. So the last few years, we've had huge disappointment, you know, losing out narrowly in the last few years in semi-finals, finals. So yeah, our main aim was the county final. So all focus really was on that. And I suppose we put huge pressure on ourselves to win that. So when we actually won that, I think we kind of were able to enjoy the rest of it. Every other match was a bonus, really. The Munster final and the All-Ireland final. But I suppose when we got to the All-Ireland final, all we wanted to do was actually just win it. But myself, like, I wasn't actually too nervous for it, because I just went out and enjoyed it. It wasn't there was no pressure on us to win it. But I'm just glad now to know that we're county final, or we're after winning the county final, Munster final, and All Ireland final. But I suppose from January to December, that's been our year.
Yeah, Claire, you look. It might be an easy narrative out of Sunday. You won the game, I suppose, convincingly in the end. You pulled away. You looked an awful lot fitter than the Donegal team, and maybe their fitness level was decent, but would you say you felt the team were extremely fit, especially around that middle kind of 6 or 8 players? There seemed to be no relenting, even in the semi-final, as John said, even though it was a tight pitch in Tubbercurry, it was heavy going, but yet you kept being able to go to the well and, you know, finished normal time strongly and even went ahead in extra time. Like, you probably had that confidence, given that you started the year so early with fitness work and strength and conditioning, that your fitness was at maybe an all-time high for many of the players.
Yeah, I suppose with the year being so long, our fitness has really just gotten better every match. When we were playing Donegal, their downings from Donegal, the team just seemed so fit. We were all well able to keep going. I think towards the end, we all still had 10 minutes or so still left on us. But yeah, definitely, I think all the extra matches have really had improved our fitness, and we were definitely well able to keep going there towards the end. But yeah. Yeah.
John, can I ask you about Mick Clemens, I believe his name is, and there's I could be wrong with the names now. I'm always poor with names. There's a healthy. They were all there Sunday, and they were all there in the other games as well. There's a healthy volunteer-led force in Mungret that have been there from day dot for a lot of these players. I know, mentioning Mairead there, I know she started playing in the old village field in Mungret about 17 or 18 years ago, and the likes of Mick and I think Colette, and I apologize now for forgetting names, but there's where the groundwork is laid for any of these teams, right at the very start, for 10, 11, 12-year-olds. And, to give them that love of the game, because if they didn't have the love of it, they probably wouldn't be involved at this stage,
Yeah, but look, that's GA. Like that's why we love the GA. You're only there for a period of time, and you just try and improve things while you're there, and then there'll be more coaches, and there's lads down there in the field now at the moment, and I'm sure in 10, 15 years time I'll get to sit back and let the new breed bring another team to the pinnacle. That's why I love the GA so much. I have to travel a lot for work, and the one thing that strikes me wherever I go is we have a great sense of community in Ireland, and I pin a lot of that on the GA. Like, you play with the club where you live. It's the people you grow up with. I'd be very good friends now with Claire's uncle, Kieran O'Brien. Like Kieran O'Brien, myself, Ger here. We still meet once a week for a pint, and these are the fellas that I was robbing apples out of the orchard in the college with. It's that you can't buy that. You can't buy that sense of community. It's something that the GA has. I think it's probably the biggest asset I think the GA has, and to have a day then like we had on Sunday, where you have the whole community out supporting you, and we've given them something to celebrate. Like, our Christmas in Mungret is at a higher level than Christmases in the rest of the county. So we're really proud to be able to do that, and now I will have my 3 cups on the dinner table. We might have to leave the ham in the oven or something, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to posting that picture on the WhatsApp group Christmas morning. I'm allowed to have the cups.
Yeah, do send it our way, John. We'd love to see it as well. I think it'd make for a lovely sight, and there'd be a nice tree there in the background. So, yeah, I'd say even if they were just underneath the tree, they wouldn't be looking too bad. Can I ask you, John, where's the limit for this team now? You have such belief, momentum, I suppose, unity heading into a senior championship next year. Like, I mean, I suppose it's case of now, can Mungret get back to where they, I suppose, once were, and being at the forefront of senior football in Limerick. Like, it's a great place to be in, because I think Anya said that she's got so much confidence, she said, from playing so many matches, because often your year could be 4 or 5 competitive championship games, but I don't know, what are you up to now? Is it nearly 10 competitive games? Like, just really, there's so much fuel there now for next season.
Yeah, it's at least 10. With the league, it's probably even a bit more. But we mentioned it last night. The girls love my planner, my Google Docs planner. It's a thing of beauty. But there's 158 sessions on it now. I think we checked last night. I double checked it, but 154, 158.
Right.
And that's a combination of gym sessions and field sessions and matches. So that doesn't leave a lot of time for other stuff for the players. So the fact that the average attendance is over 85%. So that's an incredible commitment. But we said it a few years ago. If you want to achieve, hard work is your base level, and you have to be there. You have to put in the hard yards. You have to go through the drills. Like, I think one thing that has really, really improved now in the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks is the girls' game knowledge of themselves. So they're nearly doing it automatically now. That they don't have to think about the system. It's this is where I run, this is where I go, this is where I'm going to get a pass from. It's happening naturally, and you can see the difference when you go from a kind of where should I be, that hesitation of maybe not fully understanding the system, to when it just gets ingrained and it happens naturally. So yeah. Look, we'll give it our absolute best next year. We know it's a huge challenge. Stepping up to senior level is a big task. Now, we did well in the senior league last year. We lost in the final, and a great bunch of people and a great crew, and they've been so complimentary to us that they're all in contact with me. All the clubs around the county. Like, I think the girls were saying that they'd know the other players better than I would, but there was 3 or 4 groups from different clubs up on in Dublin supporting us from other Limerick teams. So that's magic. At the end of the day, we're all Limerick, but we'll try and focus on Mungret now in the senior division next year, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, Matt.
John, you spoke about the influence of your captain on your Ryan there, which is obviously huge. Talk to us about Miss Coughlin and Mrs. Culhan.
The bane of our life, Matt. I can tell you now. If we could tame the two of them, we'd probably be we'd never got up to senior. Nan is just a bundle of joy. She's one of the best people to be around. You'll walk away from Nan smiling every time. Yvette, on the other hand, then we're just all absolutely scared at training of what's going to happen, because she doesn't do 99%. Everything is at 100%. I remember the first night she came down training when we finally convinced her to make the return, and the hits she was putting in, and the young girls were saying, that lady was shouting at me all the time. She's an unbelievable competitor. Yvette is a competitor, but no, I have great time for Nan and Yvette. They're like a double act, and they were posting stuff this morning. Now, mind you, it has to be put on record that there was no sign of Nan or Yvette in the Westward Ho yesterday from the hours of 2 till midnight. They failed to show, so it was the younger crew. Down. Yeah, the younger crew kept the party going. Actually, a big thanks to all the lads in the Westward Ho, and Paddy O'Neill as well came in and played a bit of music for us. So we had a good old night. Yeah.
Can I just interject there, John, about I was looking at the match programme. I know you had so much going on Sunday. I seem to think that Yvette and Claire, or Nan, as you affectionately know her as, I seem to think that they're not counting the COVID years as years on their dates of birth. Is that correct? I think they left a couple of years off there.
They have a completely different counting system. They operate in binary, apparently. So there's numbers left out. Yeah, there she is. Yes. No, Nan, we were slagging Nan. I think it was one of the reasons she failed to show up last night. We might have to change her nickname because we think she was wearing the summer boots yesterday. So the new nickname is Bambi. But we'll hit her with that when we finally see her.
Very good.
When I asked her where it came from, she was quite happy with it to play the part of Nan.
Oh no, that's a keeper. She's not losing that now. And the lady here beside me is the main reason. The two Claires. So no, Nan has a great sense of humour, and she embraces that, and she enjoys having a nickname. I think even at this stage, I think some of the younger players don't even know her first name. They only know her as Nan. So yeah, I know. Look, there was a lot. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of characters in the team, and I think that's one of the things. There's one of the girls, Roisin. She came to us this year now, and she'll be a huge asset now next year with another year under her belt. But came from Cork, played senior football down in Cork. Is a real competitor, and she brings a different level to training as well. So there's lots of little things, Matt. Lots of little things have to go right.
Grania McKenna, of course.
Grania, we're all scared of Grania. Grania has a free roaming part of the team, and we decided that after we realised that no matter what we told her to do, she was going to do her own thing anyway. But you know what? She backs it up though. She can read a game. She has the ability, and it works. It works for us, and if it works, that's all I care about. I don't care how we get there. It just needs to work, and she's been a huge asset to the team. And we were all a little bit frightened of her at the start, but like she's one of the gang now, and we understand her Monaghan sense of humour. So she's been embraced, and she's good crack as well.
And Claire, go on, Matt.
Yeah, it was so near your second All-Ireland medal last Sunday, because you were so close in 2023 when Limerick lost to Down. I have to ask you the question: will we see you back in green?
I'm not too sure. I might stay focused with the club now for next year. Having won intermediate, and now we're back up seniors, so hopefully we can maybe get to the senior county final now next year, and I suppose compete at senior anyway, and hopefully get to the senior county final. That's probably my main aim anyway. So yeah, I'm not too sure.
Matt, that's a very unfair question now. You know, she's still enjoying the celebration.
Are you sending out a message to all the senior clubs in Limerick? I think
Mungret are coming.
A thinly veiled message. Mungret are coming, like your senior footballers this year.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
I suppose I'd say we're well able getting to the league final, the senior league final this year. We've played most of the teams, so hopefully we'll be able to compete up there anyway. And I suppose if a county final, hopefully.
Aim big, yeah. John, you've a cohort of younger players coming. We mentioned the old ladies there now, or the I suppose the older ladies, but you have some young players coming too. That's very important going into senior. That you have the youngsters who want to be on board with that and want to get into that team.
Oh yeah, I was involved with our under 16 girls as well this year. We got a bit of silverware at the end, but I can tell you there's 4 or 5 girls on that team that will be knocking on the door. Even next year, will be knocking on the door. And then I have another daughter in the year below that. And that's another fine team. We've a couple of young girls with Kerry breeding, so they have there's a train of girls coming through now, both in football and camogie. The club are very well placed. There's great coaches involved, great systems there. So yeah, like as Claire said, like we have to be ambitious. You know, there's no point going up next year and say, "Oh, I hope we can survive in senior." No, we have to go up, and our target should be winning the county title. We'll do everything to get there and do it. But let's see if we can do it. You know, it'll be a huge step up. But if we start the year limiting our possibilities, I think we're going in the wrong direction. So these girls are super ambitious. They're up there now, and they want to compete, and they want to show what we can do and how much we've improved. So we'll give it our best, and hopefully it's enough.
Yeah, Matt. Any final remarks for John and Claire?
Just want to ask John there, and we spoke briefly about it in off air, John. Where does this success now, and where does the ladies' football element fit into the one club concept, which Mungret have pioneered in Limerick? And like, let's face it, it's the future.
Well, it's absolutely the future, and I see it. Like I was involved a few years ago with the camogie, the Limerick camogie under 16s, and you can see the disjointedness of it. You know, when we were trying to get a team to play at county level, and there was club matches put on at the same time. It's the way forward for the GA is a one club system across the board. It has to overlap properly. So I think Mungret is a good example of when you have the right people at the helm. Very lucky. We Donald Fitzgibbon obviously is a great leader. My wife Siobhan, I have to be careful not to be too ungracious, but she's done a fantastic job. I don't want to come across too much on the wife now, but and the camogie side as well. The Mary Larkin is the chairperson there, so there's great communication between the three of them. Fintan Hines now is the new chairman of the club. Again, pulled a lot of stuff together Sunday night very quickly for us. So yeah, Fintan is a serious operator, very organised. We do the field booking system together. So good IT skills. So I think great people are at the top, and they're all pulling in the right direction. Like it really is going in the right direction. There's very little competition. You can see that from our Mungret Ultras supporters. Like all the senior footballers, hurlers, they're all there supporting their girlfriends, their sisters, their friends, and they had a great day as well. So yeah, the club is in a good place now, and there's a stream of players coming. There's lots of really good people involved in coaching at all grades. So I think we've a few exciting years ahead of us, and we'll try and keep it going in the right direction.
Just a final question from me to Claire. Thanks, John, and again, congratulations. To Claire, You have been involved with a number of years with Mungret now, and there have been near misses, and obviously with near misses comes disappointment. At any stage this year, did you start to say to yourself, "Gee, we're going to crack it this year"?
I suppose when we won the county final, every other match was kind of a bonus. So, I don't know. Once we got, I suppose once we won the Munster final, there was no stopping us really. We got to Strand Hill, and I suppose, I think there was only the 6 minutes added time. I thought it was gone, to be honest. And then Claire Coughlin put over the score. At that stage, I thought it was all over for us, but thank God she got that score there in the end, and brought us to extra time and then to free kicks. But yeah, then to get to the All-Ireland final, I suppose, yeah.
Congratulations, and thanks for coming on, both of you.
Our pleasure, Matt.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thanks
Happy
to yourself and
Christmas,
Tom as
you
well.
lads.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to yourself and Tom for all the work you do as well. Like it's great to have this outlet for all the GA people around the county. We all tune in every week, so thanks for all your work as well.
Great, yeah, John. Do send on that photo now of the cups. We can't wait to see it. And Claire, congratulations and fair play for your ambition for 2025. We'll be watching, I'm sure, closely along the way. So enjoy the Christmas, enjoy any more celebrations, and we'll chat to you both very, very soon, I'm sure. Thanks a million, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, lads.
Thank you.
Okay, so Matt, there we had John
Very,
Horgan and
very
Claire.
interesting. 35 minutes of discourse. Very, very, very interesting. We got an insight, I suppose, Tom, between success and failure.
Yeah.
If you, and like, I suppose anybody looking in would get a lesson, like that success doesn't come easy. It comes as a result of damn hard work.
No, it doesn't. And people might have scoffed at the idea of going back training in January and February, but like, you reap what you sow, don't you? Because they've found a winning formula somewhere along the way, or plenty along the way. So they've effectively the only big game they were beaten in was the league final, Matt. I know I think they might have lost to St. Elby's twice this year. Other than that, there was very few teams could best them, no matter what the occasion. Like, so that's that's some going for a team that had been so close, but hadn't found the winning formula. They've found it now,
Absolutely, and fair dues to them. Like, they've struck a blow for Limerick football, because we've been in a couple of finals recently. Limerick teams, like, we'll say we were in the All-Ireland final as a county in 2023. We were in the Division 4 final this year and lost it to Carlow. St. Elby's unluckily lost the Munster Intermediate final. So it was great to come out at the right side of a final, but I can't stress enough how one-sided the final was, Tom.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you there. No, that said, Nadoon they missed the goal chance for half time, and they also missed the penalty. Now the game was well over at that stage, but they did a couple of chances, but that was, Mungret were completely dominant, possession, territory, and everything else.
Had they got the goal before half time, I think Mungret would have upped the tempo. I think.
Yeah, well, the glaring stat from the match is that Mungret didn't concede in the second half. They were that dominant, I feel, aided by a bit of a breeze, but they were totally in control. And as Claire said, there looked to be very few nerves on that team from start to finish, which when you get to an All-Ireland final is it's tremendous to be able to say that and to see that, in the flesh. Like, so, yeah.
Tom, pronounce that Donegal team. You notice Donegal girls.
Oh, I asked someone from Donegal at the game. What was it? Nadoonov, was it? I think. I forget now what she said. But anyway, the Downings in English. Yeah. Oh, you believe me, exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, as we say, congratulations to all connected with John Horgan's team in Mungret St. Paul's and the wider club. their first Munster title as a club in any code, their first All-Ireland title in any code as well for the club, and tremendous scenes in the village and indeed in their clubhouse as a result. So the more that we see on Shannon side into the future, the better, I think, for any club in any code. Okay, Matt, we've other business to discuss. I think we've some of the other action across the county. I know we weren't on air last week, so I'm just trying to recall. Had we much else that we'd missed with county finals?
No, but the under 20 championships were moving apace, and we're down now to the 3 finals, which are going to be the last 3 games in the domestic program. And full credit to the county board. They're actually finishing a week or 10 days earlier than last year. I think it was in New Year's Eve they finished last year.
The last 2 years, I'd say, yeah.
With the mammoth amount of fixtures, there's great credit due to it. But Tom, I was writing a piece about the finals today, and you spoke about a statistic here, I think 2 weeks ago, about the number of walkovers, Tom, and it is
at that point. Yeah, at that point it was 21 in hurling, 21 in football at under 20 level, which is scary, and that was on the back. I suppose those numbers were on the back of Father Casey's getting a walkover in the Premier Grade, which semi-final, which I don't think we ever thought we'd see. So the best part of 50 walkovers, I suppose, in the various codes, it's not great, is it?
No.
But you can't dress it up.
I sort of get if you are down to round 3 in the groups, or maybe round 4, and 2 teams are meeting, that you have no further interest in the championship. I think a walkover in those circumstances is acceptable.
Yeah, it's explainable anyway. Yeah,
and the other team is, top. Maybe so, but the number of first round and second round walkovers, Tom, that's what alarmed me.
I wouldn't disagree with you there. Yeah, I know it was team. Well, I suppose some of those walkovers were teams basically withdrew the week of the championship, or immediately, or some teams might have played a game and then decided this isn't for us. And as I said 2 weeks ago, it's not a football only issue. It happened in hurling too, down the grades, which is concerning, because the perception out there was that hurling is bomb-proof in Limerick. But if you have particularly rural clubs that struggle to field teams at under 20 level, then maybe something needs to be done, and maybe clubs need to look at the start of the year and say, do we need to come together with our neighbours or other entities and see, can we just get the 20-25 lads needed to field one team rather than scrambling around to try and field on their own. So look, the mention of another Mungard success, we didn't mention it because we weren't on air, but they won the under 20 Premier Grade. Was it last Sunday week?
They did. I was at it, and they won it in style, actually, because I'd say they were probably outsiders coming into it against Father Casey's, because Father Casey's had beaten them previously in the championship, in the first
group,
round of the championship. But Tom, they played exceptionally well. And once they got their noses in front, I think they were 1-6 to 2 points up after 15 minutes, and they really kept Father Casey's at arm's length after that. There was some great individual displays, as you will always have in these games, and it was disappointing for Father Casey's. And of course, the same 2 teams met in the minor final, the Premier Minor Final, and Father Casey that, and it was a repeat of last year's final, which was followed by a late point by Billy Mulno in 2023 after extra time. It was 1-6 to 8 points. But Tom, after 15 minutes in last Sunday week's final, extra time did not come into the equation. It was off the agenda. And it was an extremely disciplined, cohesive, efficient performance by Mungret. And now there were a couple of seniors playing. Jason Hassett was playing, but He went into the game with an injury and had to come off maybe 5 minutes after half time, and he was the captain. You Dermot Hines, you players like Luke Walsh and these guys, they have a bounty of riches coming through in football at senior level. And I can see where Pa Ranahan and co, if they're in charge of the Mungret senior team next year, will, they'll have a few headaches, a few selection headaches, Kevin O'Hagan. As I say, there's a bounty of riches when it comes to football in Mungret.
Yeah, another title. I think they won the under 16 grade. I think the last the under 18 grade, but have won the under 20. So not a bad innings for Mungret St. Paul's on the football side of it. The two other finals in football, Matt, are this weekend. We have, I suppose we go to the Friday night game first. St. Kieran's and Galtee Gales now moved to McNeville Park with a 9 p.m. start. And then on Saturday, Rackeel Kappa against Shannon Gales Atay with a 1 p.m. start in Skeeton. So the one on Friday, the under 20B final match, St. Kieran's and Galtee Gales. Now you might explain to me 9 p.m. sound. I was shocked to see this last night, 9 p.m. on a Friday evening, but it's a bit more nuanced than we'd
quite honest with you. But there is a legitimate explanation behind it, in that Galtee Gales had a difficulty in playing on Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
And St. Kieran's, I understand, agreed to play it on Friday evening, provided it was played late, to give their players an opportunity to get home, which is quite understandable.
Yeah, from college or other commitments up the country. Yeah. So we're at that age.
Before we start blaming GA Chiefs, that there is a legitimate reason behind it.
Yeah, no, it just look, I wouldn't be overly critical, but it just seems it's surprising to see a county final, and if it does have to go beyond the 60 minutes, be a long way back for both sets of supporters and players.
We're
but look,
at midnight, Tom.
Yeah. Not too many county titles collected at midnight, but we could have one in McNeville Park. Is it on the Astro, we were told, or is it on
the 3G? Yeah.
3G pitch. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the information I got from the county board today.
On
the 3G pitch.
Very good. Yeah. So the Gales back in another because and St. Kieran's, to be fair, are didn't go overly well at senior for a finish, but obviously you're trying to push on a couple of the younger talents with this team.
Interestingly, both are going for a double, a county
right.
double, because St. Kieran's have already won the County Junior B Football Championship.
Yes,
and they will be playing in the Munster Championship in Knockaderry in January, which my understanding from sources in Knockaderry is that it's going to be played in Ballyagrand this year again for the second year.
Right.
To the improvements that they have made to their pitch this year, or during the 2024, they're going to give it an opportunity to set, which makes very good reasoning,
Short-term pain, long-term gain, as they say.
Yeah, Galtee Gales have already won the Minor B Football Championship. They beat St. Senans in the final in Brewery one evening. I was at it. Now, by my reckoning, in 2015, Galtee Gales defied the law of gravity when they won the county under 21B Football Championship. And
that was it. 16 players that they had.
16 players. That's it. They entered the 13 side at the start of the year. The then secretary of the South Board, Hugh Murphy, applied some pressure on them. No, any hope they could make it 15 aside. So they eventually mustered 16 players.
For clarity, Matt, they fielded 15, but they only had 16 available all told.
They only had 16 available, and if you look back in the match programs, that's all that's there, 16, and that was there, so they couldn't have a fell off form or an injury. They were down to be 14 players, but that was an exceptionally good team, because you'd like the McGraths, you'd the two Childs brothers, They went on to great things, but so now Galtee Gales have run up some very, very big scores on the way to this final. So But St. Kieran's, it's a battle of traditional football areas. Let's face it.
That's for sure. Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it on Friday evening. I hope the elements will oblige.
Right.
And the rain stays away. And we'll have an enjoyable game of football.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and hopefully,
dare ask me, Tom, who do I think will win? I don't know.
I won't. But who it'll be a Cinderella story. Will you be home before midnight? Is the question I have.
That's the big question.
Yeah. Well, look, I suppose whoever wins won't be bothered by the time, but whoever loses will maybe bitter pill to swallow. Finishing up that late. The other final match.
The one thing it will curtail the time, the legitimate time anyway, for celebrating for whoever wins.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Neary's Bar in Arda will be getting the greatest number of frequenters, maybe if they win it as they normally would. But anyway, that could be a Saturday problem for them,
Probably.
Yeah,
Open
the
up
same.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, other establishments are available. The other game, Matt, is Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m. in Askeaton. Rathkeil and Kappa are merged here, and they will face Shannon Gales Atay. Now, Shannon Gales Atay is Atay, obviously, and Shannon Gales, I believe, is Gerald Griffins and Lynn. That's it, yeah. So they would have often played as just Shannon Gales, but the Atay influence is involved here as well. So this is the under-20 A final. So,
what a year at the outset it could be for Rathkeil Kappa. Rathkeil County Intermediate Champions, Kappa Premier Intermediate Champions, and between the two of them, a lot of them with Crow Kilfinny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously it's going to be a very, very interesting final. Now Shannon Gales, Gerald Griffin's Atay, and Glen, they have a tremendous football tradition, and certainly the Atay element will, look to rescue the season to a point in that they lost the Premier Junior A football final.
Yeah.
So it would be a very, very nice consolation prize to pick up on Christmas week. But I'm pretty sure now that the Kappa Rathkeil will be a very, very formidable outfit.
Yeah, no, I'd imagine so, especially given the exploits of their respective adult teams. But so that one is at 1 p.m. Saturday in Askeaton. Then we have the hurling final match that's also fixed for Saturday afternoon. It's played in Sean Finn Park in Rathkeil. ABK Desmonds, Askeaton, Ballysteen, Kilcornan Desmonds against Granabellangarry and Croom, who are merged at the under-20 grade. So that's the county under-20 B hurling championship final. All the talk I've heard is Granabellangarry, Croom are formidable opponents, but then again, Askeaton ABK Desmonds have a rising star among their ranks in Oisin O'Farrell, the name but one. But they'll be hoping to cause maybe a bit of an upset here.
When you get into a final, it's all what happens between the white lines when in the hour of action. Granabellangarry, Croom, they scored 12 goals in one of the group games.
Right.
But they just got over the line in the semi-final against Belleville Gales by a single point. So, whilst ABK Desmonds, were convincing winners over Caherline in the other semi-final.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to call it. Like the narrative has been all year that right from the start, that Granabellangarry, Croom are very, very, very strong.
Yeah.
Now, they were also involved in the football right up to the last weekend when they were beaten in the semi-final. So they will be a battle-hardened outfit, because they've played a lot of games. But of course, like all teams at this level, they've got walkovers as well, which, walkovers are no addition to anybody.
No, they're not.
No addition whatsoever, because if coaches sit down there and plan their year and suddenly they're lopped with a couple of walkovers, it disrupts the whole thing, Tom.
It does. No, it does. Yeah, and I suppose let's see what sort of review or what level of I suppose the change is brought about, and hopefully there will be change to it, and maybe the grading or the formats will be condensed to just groups aren't working this time of year. Lads have a lot of GA played between schools, colleges, adult teams, and some of them playing under 18 as well. So they have a lot played. So maybe the bit like the Clare rule. I know Clare, I spoke to someone in Clare, they have their grading where it's 8 teams, quarterfinals. The winners are in the competition proper, as it were, and then the losers go into a shield. So you're guaranteed your 2 games, and obviously some teams will get more. I guess the 3 in terms of a final. So look, there's probably a bit of merit in looking at it. But anyway, look, that's perhaps for another day. But anyway, wishing those 6 teams the best over the weekend in the respective A and B finals in hurling and football, and we'll see where the silverware lies come Saturday afternoon, I suppose. Matt, any other hurling updates? Junior B, I know we probably glossed over Kildare and Palskenry got a walkover from the Kerry side in the Munster Junior B series. Can you bring us up to date about their opposition for the next round?
I was back to see the game. I was standing in for our Cork correspondent, our reporter, to see Buttevant in their first round, and I was quite impressed by him. There's a list of clubs there in North Cork which have been very, very successful in this competition. Like Buttevant are seeking to be the 4th club from a very, very small area in North Cork to win out in Killeedy, because Killavullen, Doneraile and Shanballamore, who are their neighbours, have all won out there. So, and they look to me to be a formidable outfit because they hadn't played for, I think the Cork final was played in July.
Yeah,
so,
I think generally it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's really fired up really quick. Yeah.
Of Dan Shanahan there for Lismore, and I thought they policed him very, very well. Now, he did show one moment of magic when he caught a free and he, turned in a sixpence, as they used to say, and buried it in the net. But apart from that, it was Mark Linigan at the other side scored 210 for Buttevant. So he probably was the man that stole the show rather than Dan Shanahan. But, it was great to see somebody like Dan Shanahan back in the flesh playing at whatever age he is. So, roll on the Masters.
Yeah, 40 plus a small bit of that, I think, as I said.
I would ask you to answer your question, Tom. Early in the new year, Buttevant would play Kappa White and Kildare Pallaskenry will play the Clare representatives who escape me at the moment.
Yeah, but that's parked until the new year, I suppose. It's just that close to Christmas now. It'll be January before we come back to that competition. But I suppose
it was a very nice day now, but the pitch was in excellent condition, Tom.
Yeah. Ready for heavy traffic coming in the next couple of months.
A huge credit to the Killeedy club, they started something and a lot of these things, they vanish nearly as quick as they arrive. But this has endured. It's an endurable competition that clubs love to be part of, and to see the amount of people that were down from Buttevant there, and to see how much been talking to one or two of their officials, how much it meant to them.
Yeah, it's they
don't want to be Cinderellas with the other 3 clubs around them.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it's what are we 12, 18? This is the 19th championship. So they'll be celebrating 20 years. I think they might have missed a year with COVID in between, or maybe they didn't.
Missed a year with COVID, missed 2020 with COVID.
Right, but I think they've still held the 18 championship. So this is the 19th edition. And that's a fair innings for the competition.
But it's getting for a while there. It was gone up. I think there was 15 or 16 teams between Leinster and Munster. And the Antrim champions diligently come down every year, as they did again this year.
No, it's brilliant to see that it's continuing. So look, we'll come back to that in the new year.
Disappointing though that the Kerry team should pull out, because when you win a competition and something like this goes with winning it, you know, you're not just letting yourself down, you're letting your county down.
Yeah, no, it was disappointing. I think Killarney Palace Kenry were nearly ready to go, but pulled out the day before or thereabouts. Any other hurling?
We will have Chalky in the new year, and possibly playing in a Munster final.
Yeah. Well, he's 60 minutes away. Have we any other hurling update? I know the UL team won the senior league final a couple of weeks ago comfortably against DCU, and it was plenty of Limerick involvement. Colin Coughlin, the captain. It was the game that Colin O'Neill unfortunately got injured, but you had Aidan O'Connor. We had Evan O'Leary. You had who else am I missing there now? Adam English, of course. Yeah, Paddy O'Donovan back involved with UL, and there's a few more. Brian Ryan, of course, a Limerick man at the helm as well. So a very strong looking UL team for the upcoming Fitzgibbon Cup competition. I think it's fair to say, and coming into it.
I certainly hope that the injury that Cathal O'Neill sustained won't rule him out.
Yeah, well,
I was actually talking to him 2 or 3 days before he sustained the injury, and we were just talking about the Fitzgibbon Cup.
Yeah, he missed it last year. I think he was maybe taking a year out of college or maybe changed courses or something like that. Whatever it was, didn't get to participate as per the rules in the competition or whatever. So
we'd like to wish him the very best of luck in his recovery and very, very speedy recovery. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, hopefully he'll be back for the business end of it. But I think as John Kiley said to our friends in Live 95 at the weekend, hopefully it's they won't rush him back in terms of Limerick, but hopefully it'll be back to 100% before long, and he's able to line up, because the last thing we want to see is him coming back and crying off again with the same issue, because it become a never-ending cycle then at that stage. But look, let's see. But as I said, a formidable looking UL team for the Fitzgibbon.
Very interestingly, Tom, in the Fitzgibbon Cup, they're drawn in the same group as Mary I, who beat him in the final.
Yeah, took the words out of my mouth. No, it looks like a much changed Mary I team overall, because I think a lot of their lads were 4th years and have since graduated, but still Jamie Wall and co there, I think, at the helm. So that'll be
the other 2 teams. SETU Watford, I think, are one of the teams.
Yeah, and it's I think ATU Galway. I think it's the other one, which would have been GMIT and WIT if you rewind the clock back. So I'm still on old money there with those
I'm
names.
Still on old money, and I can't understand all these technological university of Donegal and technological university of Sligo and all that sort of thing. But they call it University College Sligo.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's the ATU Sligo, isn't it? And
just interesting, the UCC, by the way, are playing UCD in the first round
of the hurling. Is it?
They've also MTU Cork in their group, so there'll be a Cork derby. Now the only Limerick player that's on the college lineup this year is Eddie Stokes of
Doon. Yeah, I did see that. All right. Yeah, there's I think it's a 35 Limerick men in the competition. I think, or 32. And it's in the 30s anyway, which is great to see.
That is. I have the list of them, but I haven't taught them. But
it's over 30 anyway. So that's good.
They're mainly 2 Limerick colleges.
Yeah, the 3 actually. There's
the 3. If you with them with
Toos.
Is it no?
Toos Midwest.
Toos Midwest.
Yes. LIT for those who were in college when they were still known as that. So no, there's a plethora of Limerick talents across the codes, across the clubs, across the grades. So interesting to see. We'll be looking forward to that in the new year. I'm sure we'll be discussing it.
We'll have the colleges then, Tom, early in the new year, and we will have a repeat of last year's quarter final, was it? Between Arts College and Thurles CBS.
Yeah.
And if we get more of the same, we'll be extremely happy.
I think that's the 7th of January, isn't it? That's penciled for at the moment. Yeah.
The same day, Skullpole Kilfinnan are playing Bishopstown in the B quarter final.
Right, so Skullpole are back for more, open to
for more. And why not?
Why not? Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully they get a bigger cup this year if they win. Wouldn't be hard.
Cup will come from my local school here.
Oh yeah. Just to mention as well, the Sigerson draw, there's 2 Limerick players with the University of Limerick, Darrow Hagan of Mungret St. Paul's, and the other one is Cormac Wolf of St. Helens. Yeah, are there with the UL team who have drawn 8 Galway. I think they're away from home in the opening round. That's on I suppose a knockout basis. Well, you get a second chance if you lose, but yeah, UL hoping to eventually bring home that piece of silverware that has so far eluded them. But we'll be looking at that as well in the new year.
UCC won the league, Tom.
Right, yeah, glossing quickly over that as Matt, never forgets he went to UCC. But anyway, look, we'll keep an eye on all those competitions. A very exciting time for those players in those colleges and third level grades. They're tremendous competitions where you and I are big fans of them, Matt. So we'll see how the Limerick players and indeed teams rank in the new year. Anything else, Matt, before we wrap up for this evening?
Tom, there is a very, very special ceremony, award ceremony, and it's extra special this year because it's the 21st. It is formerly what was started off as the old-time Gaels in East Limerick.
Right.
They will be celebrating their 21st annual awards, and it's in the Millennium Centre in Carrick-on-Laois on Friday week, the 27th of December at 7:30 p.m. Now, there is an enormous array of talented people being organised. Now, it has been sponsored, and it's part of the success of the ward system, the enduring support and sponsorship of St. Ailbe's Credit Union, who will be honoured on the night, for what they have done, not just for the Gaels of East Limerick, but for what they've done in their community in East Limerick, and they're absolutely tremendous. But there's a whole array of a talent being recognised. There's going to be somebody from each club. Sometimes it will be some of the unsung heroes that may have contributed hugely in hurling or football or administration. And then there are special awards. And Tom, this is one that applies to you. Maybe there's going to be a posthumous award, and two people, one who you know very well, are going to be remembered, and that's Niamh Berkery of Cappamore and Emma Maguire of St. Ailbe's.
And would you believe I met both of their mothers last week? One of them being my aunt, of course, but and I met her name escapes me, Emma Maguire's mother as well. And I suppose it's a bittersweet for the families when they see this because by its nature it's posthumous, but I think it's their acknowledgement of their contribution to the games. To the Gaelic games. Like, I know Niamh would have been PRO and would have been a big supporter of, you're talking about the one club, Matt, Cappamore have it as well. Big supporter of camogie and hurling in Cappamore, and well, all Gaelic games in Limerick. And I know Emma obviously would have seen her club, well, didn't get to see, unfortunately, her club winning the county this year, but they carried her there in spirit, as Sheila Moynihan told us on this podcast. Like, so on
the day it was mentioned as well that they won it, that they were winning it for Emma. Absolutely, it was absolutely fantastic. Also being honoured, Tom, are Doon GA Club and St. Ailbe's, now that we mentioned them. County
senior titles for the East.
There is an award for Vera Mackey, better known, of course, these days as Vera Mulcahy, who was an absolutely tremendous camogie player with Limerick, and of course is mother of the three girls that play with her hand and play with Limerick. She's going to be honoured. Liam Cronin is going to be honoured. There's a whole raft of people, members from East Limerick of the All-Ireland winning minor team 40 years ago in 1984, the centenary year. They are going to be honoured. Pat Donnelly, who we know from the academy, Val Moran, Declan Nash were members of the squad. Mike Weeks was a member of the team. There's a whole raft of Mike. I just couldn't go into them, Tom. But it promises to be. It's one of the best nights of the year, Tom.
Right,
It's a
right.
night that I've been at for a number of years now, and of course I got caught last year, as you will remember.
Yeah.
When the organising committee in cahoots with John Kiley, you know, I was named for the Tom O'Brien Award.
Right, yeah, and as anyone who didn't hear this story, you were kind of wondering why are they not giving me the name of the person, like, you know?
That's right, and it's John Anderson of Doon that's getting it this year. And,
Right.
you know, I pressed Ger O'Connell, who you had in for a great interview here, and I think Ger is going to be honoured too on the night, but
Who is it, Ger? Who is it?
I pressed him very hard in the car park.
I need a name. Give me a name.
I said, Ger, look, you know, there's no citation here. What do I do? What do I say about the person? You know, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You know plenty about him and blah, blah. You know, the way Ger said to fob you off, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was sitting comfortably when John Kiley stood up and spoke for nearly 10 minutes. As I said to him, you never told more lies in 10 minutes in your life.
Right.
When he was introducing the citation. So,
Yeah.
you know, I got a fierce shock, a very, very pleasant shock. But
Brilliant. Yeah. No.
with God, that's
Well done.
behind me now. It's full go, and I have the privilege of acting as MC for him on Friday week, which I'm looking forward to. But
Very good. Well,
it's this whole concept, Tom, and I've spoken about it before in this medium. It is absolutely fantastic. It's unparalleled in our county.
yeah, I don't know anything near it. Yeah, if there isn't
And I
anything
don't
near
know
it.
anything near it. And the sustainability of it, you know, that it's celebrating 21 years. And it's going from strength to strength. Tom, there will not, I can guarantee you, there will not, and it's a very, very big venue, there will not be standing room in the Millennium Centre in Carrick-on-Dishan Friday week. There won't be standing room there.
We look forward to hearing about the evening, and congratulations to all recipients. I believe each club gets at least one nod to their to one of their members along the way. So it's that's
you know, Tom, that's what makes it very, very special.
I think that's the jewel in the crown of it. Yeah.
You know, and that is probably one of the secrets of its success. There is something for everybody. And like I in the years I've been involved with it, Tom, I haven't seen anybody or a citation for anybody that didn't absolutely deserve being recognised.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of talk on into the award winners. So look, we'll look forward to seeing the photos and hearing about the crack and all that on the night. So Matt, that's it. We've covered it all in the last 70 plus minutes. Again, we must extend our congratulations to Mungret St. Paul's and their success, and thanks to John and Claire for joining us for a discussion about that. As I said at the start, a little bit biased, but very, very proud to be connected in some small way to the team and panel, and hopefully a sign of things to come in 2025 for Limerick teams across the various codes. We'll join our listeners and viewers next week, Matt, I think, for a discussion around the year that was. I think it would be an apt time to do so.
I think next week is Christmas Day, Tom.
Yeah. Well, we might go a fraction earlier, but we'll see if we squeeze one out before Christmas, just to give people something to tune into over Christmas and to reminisce on the successes of Limerick in 2024. So, Matt, thanks for your time as always, and
Likewise, Tom.